Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermore. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over there with on WNTF. Never mind the furthermore. Never mind the furthermore is brought to you, dear friends, by our good friends over at IndieCD.org. Yes, IndieCD.org, your one-stop shop for the best of the brightest authors, musicians, creatives. Folks, I know in this time of turmoil online, finding a place that's safe for you to be is challenging at best. But, dear viewers, dear readers, dear listeners, if you are creative, and you want a place where you can actually be found and heard by your audience, which many times is, shockingly, other creatives, going to IndieCD.org is your best shot to join a community where you know that you're going to be not just represented and appreciated, but have the kind of hope, the presence to finally get some eyes on your project without having to pay and fight the algorithm for equal respect. All right? Yes, $40 is a big layout. But if you can look up that first podcast Joe Bachman put out, you might be able to find a code in that podcast one that might just help you mitigate that cost a bit. And if you appreciate me helping you mitigate that cost just a little bit, feel free to use that code right here, this little question mark, when you sign up, because it won't cost you anything extra, but it will do some wonderful things for my pocketbook. So, with that being said, I want you guys to consider that. We're also made possible by sales of, Lord knows I have too many books, and I have more coming, including The Simple Sword, The Fighting Axe, and The Simple Spear. My ongoing series of books designed to help you learn how to sword fight so that you can become more like the character you always wanted to be. I just realized, no, I didn't make a typo. No, I made a typo. Anyway, it's a very special day for me over here. I'll explain what's going on with why I'm fidgeting in a bit. But we're also made possible by my fiction, including Haints and Hellfire, my latest horror novel. And the story was supposed to be part of the anthology Through the Thinning Veil, Volume 1. Now, Haints and Hellfire is the story of the fact that evil has taken 2 lives and looks to claim more. It's hunting the boy that escaped throughout the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. And its only hope are his dear aunt, a plucky reporter, her burly cameraman, and a cat that might be a bit bigger than he seems. They're all that stand between him and absolute darkness. Look up Haints and Hellfire. It's good. Everybody I've seen who's read it has enjoyed it. And I'm going to just say, after I get through my game stuff, because Big Stompy Robots, guys, this is a great universe. This little volume gives you the guide to it and gets you just that sweet taste of what's an expanding IP, where giant walking engines of destruction called battle superiority robots stride across war zones throughout the far-flung world of Praxis 5, laying waste to each other, not for silly things like flags and honor usually, but for the glory of their Megacorp sponsors. And speaking of sponsorships, friends, remember we are also sponsoring the Indie CreatorCon, IndieCD.com, over in Fowler, Indiana, February 24th. Guys, I am so excited. We have a great group of vendors all set up. It will be free to the public. That's right, free. Free. You just show up. And there was this little swag table, and you can meet authors and creators and buy cool stuff. So come up, bring your cash, bring your cards, and help support the small author community as they try to make it against, the forces of our real world megacorps. Hi, Don. I love you. But now, let's get into some accountability. It's not that I'm not eager to get things done, because I am eager. It's not that I want to remind you that bit.ly/JB Tech Apps will get you custom construction apps for your needs in Indiana, as well as the Big Stompy Robots apps. And I don't talk about it enough. No, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I mean, I can, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I got some great materials. First and foremost, you need some numbers. I know, I'm not telling the truth. No, I'm telling the truth, actually. We'll say Haints and Hellfire 2, I am 2,674 words into it. Just kind of getting the motions going for the first draft. That you gotta get that motor running. And I've been just letting it come easy and slow when I have a moment. Tick. It was the recipe for success that works so well in Haints and Hellfire 1. Might as well try to keep in that Haints and Hellfire 2. New evils, old friends, old foes who might be new friends. You don't know. But I will tell you this. I can feel it coming, guys. Do you know? I don't know how many of you lovely authors feel your own plot sneaking up on you when you're writing. That and this little block is sliding into place. Click. And this little block is sliding into place. And things set up in the first book, well, they are coming to a bit of fruition. So for those of you who went, Nick, is that a plot hole? Is that a plot hole? Did you leave a big gaping plot hole or two in that book? it's only a plot hole if it's not filled in the next couple books at some point, if it doesn't eventually lead somewhere. Because, friends, when you're writing, I find it's always nice, my duckies, my beloveds, to leave just a little room to come back. Reach back into that story and go, yes. As I am weaving into the tapestry of the next story, let's just thread in this and tie it all together. As the greater story begins to unfold. So, what new threats are arising for our dear intrepid reporters? And perhaps everyone's favorite small farmer, witch, and general interesting driver. Well, you can have to wait, but I'll assure you, because there's been concern. It may take a bit. You may have to read into it a bit, but the cat comes back. And with that, we're going to go on to what else I've been up to. Basically, I'm on an arc as I prep for the convention to catch the things that I didn't catch due to the short lead up to this. So I'm going to be filling in some things and doing some stuff and con prep for the next month or so. Basically, as soon as it hits February, most of my projects will go on hiatus while I am doing that. And I say most of my projects. Will that affect my broadcasting? No. I mean, I'm not going to sit around doing 5-hour broadcasts. Y'all, I got stuff to do. I think we tallied, I did over 20 hours last week of broadcasting. That was a bit much. So we're going to try to dial it down just a bit this week and keep things a little more calm, a little more smooth, a little more relaxed. And as always, because I have absolute faith, my beloved Donna, Carlene is in the chat. You know I got to keep the mojo in the dojo. And speaking of the dojo, I have some things coming in to reflect my other channel that I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping to shoot something for them in the near future. We'll see. Good things are coming. You guys got to have faith. Now, there is something else I want to discuss, which is not nearly as cheery. We have two bits of news. One, I read a lengthy and intelligent article on some of the most negative aspects of the online communities around gaming. And since I've spent a little bit of time now around some of the independent comics communities, I've seen some parallels. I may share it around, but I will say this: whatever rumors are flying around, folks, before you click share, take a minute and look it up yourself. See if you can find any research. I know that goes against everything our mass-produced content system is grinding us towards, but please, like the KGB says, trust but verify. So look up stuff as it comes. Make sure if you're talking about somebody, you know what they're about. Okay? Now, to interested parties, I will share the link directly. I don't have it set up on my screen. It was something I was reading on my phone. Because I do try to keep track of assorted industries and their trends, because I am tangentially or rather completely attached to several of these industries. White Boot Arms and Artistry, while a tiny LLC, is that a tiny LLC trying to make it in a world of, well, lumbering giants? And I do still have faith that we can do it always. Of course I do. But I do like to see where the giants are stepping. And speaking of giants stepping on the little guys, I do have to put out something that I am currently a little incensed about, because it is part of an ongoing trend that has really ground my personal gears this Monday morning. I found out our dear friends at Microsoft are going to stop installing and supporting WordPad. I'm sorry. Yes, WordPad. WordPad on PCs. Upcoming, I want to say through the Windows 11 Cherry update. I think it is. Are they less than intelligent? Now, see, I have a passion, folks, because I used to many, many lifetimes ago dabble in programming. I still occasionally look at it with, a squinty eye late at night and start wondering, can I speak the language again? And, visions of Tommy the Turtle start rising in my mind. And those, few of you will know it, but those who had to study BASIC as children do. And yes, I'm dating myself. I have a thing. We have vast amounts of space on our computers. Yes. Huge amounts of processing power. Yes. But that's no reason to forsake small, effective programs that just do what they are supposed to do. The little set of accessories that have come with Windows throughout the ages, since I want to say 95 when we got the glory that is WordPad, and the response from our good friends at Microsoft as to, wait a second, there are a lot of writers who like just the simple, I'm cranking out an RTF, leave me alone, I just want to type this out, I don't need fancy bells and whistles, I just want to type. Their response is, well, if you're going to be modifying our text in RTF files, you really should be using Word. Forgive me if I don't want to rent your program for an obscene amount of money annually that you can discontinue at a whim. I'm sorry. No. Dear friends. You see, and I'm begging them, please don't make me dig through my files. I will put Works back on this box in spite, because the Works suite was incredible. It had just enough to do a whole lot of things, but nothing extra, and you could get it relatively cheap. I don't mind buying programs. For as many free programs as I use, I do not mind buying programs when I buy it and it's mine. I give you money, you give me a digital product that works. But when you buy a PC, and yes, I know they expect everyone in the world to have reliable internet access and fancy PCs to run these ever increasingly expansive programs. Sometimes you just want a box that works, and sometimes you just want a program, not an app. I know app is a cute term because it sounds like your cell phone. It's cute, but sometimes you just want a program. You want to go Windows, accessories, bam, and you have 2 or 3 little things that not only you can use easily, but you can teach a kid to use easily, or a relative who's not computer savvy. So I have a bit of annoyance built up here, because anytime they take something that's been a expected, reasonable resource that's been accessible through their services and products for decades as an entry ramp, both for the poor and the unskilled, to learn how to make these boxes go, in a time where education is at its most frayed due to the gaps from COVID, through the gaps of issues. If you're going to have people who are creative, you're going to need the simple tools, little tools, to ease people in. Reliable tools when maybe other things aren't working so well. They're all right. See this? What this is? This is my phone. My phone lives in my pocket. My phone has diddly squat to do with Microsoft and Windows. It is an Android phone. It is cheaper than most boxes. I buy box on PCs. It is more powerful than a large number of them. And thanks to the Google Suite, I have a reliable typing program on here for free that connects with everything. And do you want to take your free, reliable typing program off the box and make us pay for it? No. You can't just pay for it. No, we're not going to support it anymore. No. I am continually baffled that some of the older programs, which still work, okay, and take up microscopic amounts of space proportionately to these voluminous hard drives, threaten the big guys. I used to carry around a little flash drive, and in it is a useful little programs folder. That folder used to be on, the original incarnation was on a floppy. You know, that save icon? Yeah, one of those. On it, I had Gift Maker. I had a version of or a typing program. I had a few other things. Gift Maker's only like 56K. And all it does is let you organize and set timing for gifts to make an animation. You still have to make an animation in Paint. Now, here's the thing. Their response to you don't need WordPad is, well, just have the AI do it for you. I'm spicy this morning, you guys. I'm spicy, and they're throwing things at me. Do not take away our methodologies. It's not right. So I'm starting a hashtag save WordPad. Gripe about this, add the hashtag, throw it around, tell everybody who's an author about it. Because what they'll find is just like when they tried to get rid of MS Paint, all we've wanted for decades, at least for me, is WordPad with spell check. And a lot of people use outside programs and other things to get that. But WordPad with spell check, great for huge quantities of basic, simple writing programs. And the output, because if you don't need images, if you don't need fancy damn net connectivity, there's no reason for your file size to be gigantic. Why am I interested in file size? Well, friends, because when you submit your novels and things to folks like Amazon, especially for ebook, they weigh the pricing, allegedly, against the file size. This is why, if I'm doing all, and I'm not doing anything too silly with the formatting, I like RTF, a rich text file. It gets the job done with minimal hassle. So why complain? Why worry? Now, yes, I do like having fancy things like connectivity. And yes, I do love a good table of contents makes my heart feel a little full. And then I use Docs, because a while ago, Word went from a program you buy on a disk, take a download. I'll accept download as a necessity. But you put it in, and then it works on your box. It may have been expensive, but you pay, and you're done. I am vehemently opposed to the idea that many software companies, especially game companies, I'm looking at you, Ubisoft, say about people need to get used to not owning their games, not owning their programs, not owning the tools they use for their craft. And I'm sorry, but I don't want to rent my tools from the company store. I'm sorry, as a historian, as somebody who has read the history, somebody who's talked to people with firsthand experience with that kind of absolute manipulative drivel, your dear friend this week is not happy with that. So I will continue talking about this sort of thing and encouraging you to. Because as creatives, we need to own our own tools. It's akin to the right to repair stuff. We need to be able to fix our stuff. We need to be able to build our stuff. And things like this tempt me to go back to the dark side of, everybody experiments in college. They dabble in things. I went down the dark path of Linux for a while. I don't want to again. I love the box that Joey gave me. I love the relative reliability of my Windows system. I love that it's compatible with lots and lots of applications that I know of and I won't have issues. But friends, colleagues, and those who may see this, tempt not my wrath. Because if I have to learn a simple programming language and get a Raspberry Pi to make a box that has a typing program on it to be able to do things my own way, heaven help me, I am capable of such silliness. If you're going to take away WordPad, you give back something equivalent but better. They took away Paint. We got furious, and they brought back Paint with rudimentary layers. Give us a multiply layer, and it'll be golden. You may not know what I mean by it, but anyone who does understands entirely. They tried to give us Paint 3D. We did not want it. Well, some people use it. I understand, as a possible baby steps into 3D printing, but it's cumbersome and not terribly good at what it's supposed to be. Did they tack an AI plunk on the side of Paint? Yes. Am I happy about that? Obviously not. But at least I have access to the bonehead of bonehead apps so that I can sit down and do what I need to do should it go boink. Okay. So I'll ask you guys, what little tools that come with like systems or things do you take for granted but use constantly or even frequently that would annoy you greatly if they went away? Does anyone else write with Notepad on occasion? Or is it just me? I'm genuinely curious. I could just be an old computer FUD, shaking my fist at these newfangled boxes saying, get off my lawn. And if that's the case, well, I won't apologize for being what I am, but I will understand if people don't care to agree. And maybe that's why they want to get rid of it, because you can get onto that, bring it up, minimal distractions, simple UI. You just go and you just write. It's as close to the typewriter experience as you can get on a box. It's a great tool for when you don't want to get pulled down the rabbit hole online. I want to hear what you have to say about it. If you have anything to say about it, I want to know what's going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run Joe's ad, because I always run Joe's ad because he pays my bills. And if you want your ad ever to be consistently and run, every day run, instead of at the whims of my situation, Joe moved the ad all the way down to the bottom, so I have to go find it again. So I'm going to fix that. I'm going to run Joe's ad, which I love because for me it says Final 2. And then we'll get back to your chat because your chats are always more interesting than mine. We'll find out what you're up to, and maybe I can finish putting this knife together. NDCD is just a great opportunity to do what we need, just what you need to do to get yourself out there. Oh, I also, one quick note, guys. I am on Blue Sky, as is currently ndcd.org. If there is a chance to, if you have a chance to get on, please do. I'm finding that to be a very interesting and effective community. It's a little more comfortable. It's curated, so people have to kind of work to get on. So I think it's a little more civil than places like Twitter. It really does feel like Twitter before Twitter lost its mind. So I want to encourage all of you who get a chance to get on Blue Sky, especially if you're on Twitter, because that ship is getting remarkably unstable. Now, let's go through the chat and see who's here, who's what, and we'll talk about what you guys have to talk about. First through the doors, the incomparable Dan Hollifield. Hello, good sir. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. We'll find out how many cups of coffee in you are. And then we're joined by Donna. Oh, Donna and Dan came in right close together. That's good to see. Y'all ought to be snuggly. And Thesis. Good morning, Thesis. I think you'll like. Well, yeah, I think you'll like what's hopefully coming in the mail in the very near future. And hey, Thesis. And hey, Donna. And good morning, Alec. I can't wait to hear about your formal. I want to know how it went. You have to know. You've been talking about. We are excited. And good morning, everyone. And Thesis says, Alec, thank you so much for the pictures. Foxy and I were incredibly touched. Oh, I'm glad Alec's in the background doing good works to keep people amused. Dan, Donna, Thesis, and Alec, and Foxy, if she's back there. I assume Foxy is always back there. And Grant, hello, Grant. How goes your campaign, sir? And we're going to greet Grant and everybody. And for Grant, Kickstarter.com/projects League of Cryptids 1. Guys, go support that. If you have a chance to support it, even if you can't buy it, go on and follow the link to that because it helps him in the algorithms. And Miss Sarah, oh, y'all. Oh, you all wonderful, lucky people. You have no idea. This blessed woman, this talented, blessed woman who has decided of her own thought and volition to work on the absolute madness of turning Haints and Hellfire Volume 1 into an audiobook. You want to talk a good reception of a story. That's a good reception of a story. Dear Lord. Sent me, a sample of the first chapter to talk and try to work through things. And it's really fascinating because whenever I write a story, the characters are very vocal in my head. I mean, for me, imagination of that style is a immersive, three-dimensional experience. Okay, I do not meddle around in just audio or just video. Oh no! I wade through it. I float through my own stuff, and I rotate around and zoom in, and basically Jarvis my way through my stories. But this absolute an enchantress, you know, has been successfully doing things with her voice. One moment. Cats! Settle. Very good. Anyway, sorry. But this blessed woman sent me that chunk, and I was up. I'm going to be honest, it was like 4:40 in the morning because I was in one of those zones where I was typing and doing things and, cross-referencing the universe. This blessed woman sent it to me, and is there discussion? Yes, it's a great project. Of course, there's discussion. There's collaboration, but she took all the female titles and all the female names and voices and just nailed them, just spot on, like first take, no problem. But for some of the male voices, it's more challenging. Just like it would be much more challenging for me to try to imitate female voices. And I realized in going through, and it was my first reading, so it's no biggie. The trick was much more the pacing, the rhythm of speech, rather than the actual tone. Because she did a pretty good version of Stephen Blevins. And since that man's voice and appearance is clearly based on someone we know, that would be incredibly difficult for her to mimic. It is just absolutely amazing. So once she's done with this project, if this woman isn't going into voice acting or audiobook narration as a career, at least as a side hustle, it would be a tragedy. She's incredibly talented, and as she gets more experience, she's going to be even more talented. I'm going to have the privilege of having known her when she started, and I love that. I live for helping people who are exploring their talents elevate. And boy, once you're through with this one, because I'm going to be greedy on this at least, we're going to have to promote you heavily because you guys should be throwing money at this woman. She's just that amazing. Sorry, I wanted to get that out before I risked losing it. I don't want to say forgetting, just losing it. There's a difference. We've got lots of greetings, and I'm going to click that. And Dan Hollifield's Bandcamp. Now, I missed it again, but on the last Friday of the month, I have found out that Bandcamp gives all the money that they make to their creators. I want to make sure that that's true, but if that's true, please support Dan. And if you can do it the last day of the month so that he gets some money, because there is a man who is just, I am a dabbling generalist, okay? I collect skills like some people collect baseball cards. It's one of my prides and joys. And at some points I have suffered because I have not, niched down into a single skill. I understand that. But what Dan Hollfield can do and has done between his writing, between his organization of Apfillion, between his voiceovers and his amazing musical compositions is staggering. The man is a true modern Renaissance man, and it's a dang privilege to know him. And you should go there because his music absolutely is mind-blowing. And Invocation is a very special title among that. Hi, Dan, Miss Sarah. Thank you. Greetings. You beat me to it, Carl, but thank you. Winter formal was done. Ethan and I had a good time. I am still trying to recover from the loud music and people. That's what we wanted to hear. I hope you had an absolute blast. You should be a little having to recover from something like that. And hi, Saren. And Donna says, they don't call him Quick Carl for nothing. He is one of the faster links of the West. Morning, Grant, and ouch, Donna. Ha, I'll leave you to find out about that car. And Sarah. You hear that faint creak of the casket opening in Sarah's secret clock tower, where she descends like a gothic heroine. Well, is she the heroine or is she the villain? Only you can decide. Good morning, Miss Sarah. Please, for your own safety, friends, colleagues, listeners, viewers, hit that like button for your own safety. I cannot be held responsible for what Sarah will do to you if you don't. And everyone's greeting Sarah. And, Grant draws tonight with guest Ted Davies. That's going to be a bombastic show. When you have two powerful personalities like Grant and Ted on the same screen, it's going to be good. Check it out. Hey, Sarah. And hey, Tom. I know you're keeping the mojo in the dojo, darling. I know that right now everything is so much better. The world's warming up just a little bit. The sun is threatening to peek out, and life is getting good. So you just hold on tight and ride the ride till we get you to the sunny side. And Grant says, I feel like I keep forgetting to say good morning to you, Donna. And don't forget to like and share, folks. Sarah says, I'm going to be on and off in the vicinity of the chat due to overhauling my living space as much as possible, but love the extra energy on top of insane amounts of caffeine I have in me. Hey, sometimes you have to ride the lightning a bit. Sometimes you have to walk the path of the caffeination in hopes of making it. There is no other choice. But be careful, the crash will come, and when it comes, let yourself sleep, dear. Great, Grant. It'll be great. Good to see you and Ted again. Yes, like it right, meow. Okay, Grant. I know we can get caught up in the show. I know how we can get caught up in the show. Morning, folks. Sarah said, would you message me for the link with the link for that, Grant? I haven't seen Ted in what feels like forever. Oh. Interacting with you guys and the chat would be nice as well. And Foxy says, wow, cleaning glasses made such a difference. Yes, apparently I'm at least 5% more tolerable if you have your glasses on, which is saying something for one gifted with a face for radio. Horror, a precious. Absolutely. I've got two. I've got a little bunch of spookies and a big old honking bunch. A slow burn to, oh my gosh, spookies. I want your opinion on it. And be honest, I want to make sure that you've enjoyed it, dear. Okay, time to overhaul as much as possible. Listening mode engaged. Sarah is ready to dominate. And have fun, Sarah. LOL, thanks. Not so motivated, but doing it anyway. Arkle barkle, it's been driving me nuts. Yes, I know the feeling. Sometimes you got to change things up. I get it. Yes, very much so. Sarah, link to Grant Draws right there. And folks, if you have planned it, get on it. Oh, yes, Sarah. And what's this? Jody McPhee, morning all. I need some positive energy now. Well, brothers and sisters, you know you've got it. My friends, Joe D. McPhee, the master of disaster himself, the one, the ringmaster, is feeling he needs your energy. Reach out and give it to him, friends. Charge him up like Goku in its spirit bomb for the greater glory of all things Amazon. let me tell you what, because I know that you're going to get out there and kick butt, Joe. I know it because I've seen you do it. It is a consistent, reliable truth. You get out there, and like Frankie, you do it your way. And I respect that, good sir. So don't you let any of the Monday morbs sink into your radiant soul, good sir. No. Go out and be the defiant force of insanity that you can be, good sir. You take this Monday, all right? You set it up, and you tombstone it like the taker. Thank you. Next comment. Hey, Jody. Sarah, is your name on Facebook something other than Sarah? I'm having trouble finding your page. Hey, Foxy and Jody. Hey, Foxy and Jody. Oh, thank you. Finding a page reminded me there is a bit of note. Amazon authors, check on your author page. They are having some technical issues right now, which is why Haints and Hellfire, this isn't showing up on my author page. So what you do is you have to search Haints and Hellfire. And then it's going to tell you. It's going to tell you, did you mean Haunts and Hellfire? No. You meant Haints and Hellfire. Then you go with that. And so that has been a bit of an update. And we've got greetings. And let me read up. Yes, sir. Hear those guitar riffs every time Foxy walks into the room. Guitar riffs? I don't do music. Sure you do. You just don't hear it because it's your personal soundtrack. It's always there. You just don't notice it anymore. You know, from the song Foxy Lady. You're not the only one, Grant. What's that? I'm sorry, I'm receiving something from my producer. On December 1st, 1948, a man's body was found on Somerton Beach. The labels had been cut off his clothing, and he had no identification. Later clues didn't help the mystery, but deepened it. Thank you for that news break, Carl. And Sarah is redecorating. Yes, she's rearranging the clocks, moving the candelabra, telling her trained bats that maybe they need to roost over there to affect the way the moonlight comes through the custom window into her room. It's just a whole thing. This much is fact. The writer created a possible scenario to explain all the weird clues, odd people, and strange events of the historical event. Less than $5. Hulu.com/eric-whitsman/death-under/ebook/product, and a whole lot of gobbledygook that I can't get through. That I'm pretty sure that question mark on probably isn't needed. Foxy, should you be blushing? Well, I hope you are. If not, we're not doing our job right. And we're joined by speaking of people make you blush, the lovely Willow Schuyler. My unexpected but always delighted guest from earlier last week. How are you doing, my Canadian love? And hey, Willow. Morning, Willow. Hi, Willow. Have you tried Open Office? Oh, absolutely. I've used Open Office back when it was Apache, and now I've used AndroOffice, LibreOffice, Google Docs. I've used all the free download apps, programs for word processing. They're all quite good. I still haven't found one that really makes formatting image-intensive books easy. That's really something I struggle with, and I that's really been one of my Achilles heels for getting RPGs how I want them. And I do feel the quality of the image quality of some of my game productions isn't where I would have it. So anyone who has advice on formatting things like that, please let me know. OpenOffice is great. I use it to make my business cards. I think Carl's creative process is very similar to mine. He hears a weird story and thinks that could be a good book. And Nick, my mom set up all the computers back when she opened up her medical practice, but now she can't even work a PC. It's because things change so much. I can understand that. I mean, you have to understand, I've been using Windows since 3.1. I've been on this ride since it began. Although my first system was a Tandy Color Computer 3, which very few of you will know. I guess this is going to be a long show. I'll just accept that. I started with an IBM PS1 with my first actual Windows box. It was a solid box. They still work. That's a Windows 98 box back here, and I could spin around, and I believe it's still plugged in. I may have had to unplug it to borrow a cable, but yeah, that's a viable system right back there. And I get it, but I realized I haven't run an ad for a while. And I think I'm going to run, where is it? Because it'll be down here. The cryptids ad, just for, being an ally.
Sasquatch, the Loch Ness Monster, Mothman, the Jersey Devil, Chupacabra. For millennia, these creatures have perplexed the human race. But what if they are forces of good? What if they have been sent here by a federation of more advanced alien species to help and defend the human race? That's the premise of League of Cryptids, a new comic book by Grant Lankard, creator of the smash hits Beowulf and Memoirs of the Morbid. His new comic, League of Cryptids, is a 4-part story involving these 5 creatures banding together to defend Earth from an invading alien race, just as one of their members is losing faith in the human race and questioning their mission. The epic tale begins in League of Cryptids 1.
What an exciting new world that our dear friend Grant Lankard is building for us to visit and enjoy. I can't wait to see what comes from it now. Desk, yes! Until I move out of here, my space access many rooms over it, and definitely only keeping what I love and redecorating. That something similar is part of what's going on at my home as well. And yep, Grants, I think, now how could that have happened? What explains all the clues? And, Sarah, you're still here. I'm having trouble finding your Facebook page, but the link to my show is, and there's a link for Grant's show. I wonder what Dawn's doing today. She's usually here. I'm going to assume that she is resting up. She's been through a lot lately, so it's probably a good sign that she's actually taking it easy. And thanks, Odd. Thanks, Odd. We don't have anyone by that call sign right now. Thanks, Odd. I'll have to go find my page and figure that out. Thanks so much, Grant. OpenOffice is free. Yes, I love OpenOffice. Don't get me wrong. The reason I run Google Docs is I tend to do a lot of collaboration. If you were collaborating, OpenOffice, Google Docs is great. If you're working by yourself, the OpenOffice suite is better. By my preference, I use the old, because somewhere I have the install files for the old Microsoft Works suite, which I love. But compatibility can start to be a problem. So yes, OpenOffice is a great product. That's why doing League of Legends is so interesting. I'll never run out of stuff to write about with all the weird urban legends, folklore, and unexplained paranormal activity. That's why it's part of why the comic that I want to redo, Paul Bunyan Kaiju Slayer, is something that I almost don't count because it's taking folklore and using that whole pre-built world and stuff and then spinning it on its head. So yes, I get it. Grant went over and set a reminder to sub to your channel. Thanks so much. And good idea, Grant, thinking about the future. Interesting, spicy conversation. And I remembered paying $15 a month for various MMORPGs. While I understand and respect it, I never had the money for it. So, yes, LOL. And Microsoft has been nickel and diming us for years, separating all their programs, making you pay for each additional month. So I got mad when I found out Microsoft Word was not built into W10. I fully understand that. And you are not wrong to be annoyed with that. Foxy says Linux has its place. I've used it before when a machine has no more support for Windows. Yeah. And hey, Willow, great job on the Multiverse fundraiser. Did an incredible job. I do hope you're proud of yourself. And we're joined by Chris Walker. Good morning, all who are watching and participating in the chat. Chris, thank you. Chris Watt reached out and mentioned that he did not know that I had written sci-fi novels. And I have two novella kind of entities, being Small Arms and Eyes to the Sky. And they're set in the Big Stompy Robots universe. And he went out and he got them, and I appreciate it. In fact, I am very close to clearing my best month ever from the best single month ever as a writer on Amazon. Thanks to you guys, and vastly to the coolness of Haints and Hellfire. I want you guys to read that. It's really good. And if you enjoy that, read my other stuff. And good morning, Chris. Yes, the Multiverse fundraiser was fun. They got close to their financial goal for comic books for kids. That's great. Good morning, Foxy. I mostly use Google Docs today. I'm literally, during the commercials, adding words, even if it's one or two at a time, to Haints and Hellfire 2. And I use Notepad for notes and copying and pasting larger text bits, even while we're using Word. Exactly. I use Notepad. I'm too poor for the 365 package. Thank you. I'm sorry. If you look at the economy right now, so many people are financially hurting that it's irresponsible to try to squeeze blood from those stones. Same, Saren. I remember in the bad times who treated us well and who treated us poorly. Hey, Chris, squee! Or WordPad or whatever they call it. Well, there's Notepad and WordPad. I don't know if they're removing Notepad, but Notepad is just that side of basic, where Notepad, for me, I find is better for program writing, like cranking out HTML was how I used to use Notepad a lot. But WordPad is it's just a very useful, very simple program. Morning, Chris. And let's see. Why is that not showing, I wonder? Okay, there we go. Snipping tool calculator, Nick. Yes. Without the snipping tool, I would have to go through program archive to find print key 2000 to do screenshots. Yes. Oh, and I'm sure there are. And Dan says I use Notepad, WordPad, and Word all at the same time to lay out affiliate. They're really useful options to have. And I use simple programs in PC and Mac. Ditto. Pages is the simple one for Apple. I'll take your word for it. I don't use Apple products. Good news and bad news. Angie's getting off work late, but said she'd get lunch with me. That's rough, but at least there's a bit of sugar coating on it. And I'd be probably be fairly annoyed if my amp stopped being available on my PC. It would make recording my stuff 1,000% more difficult. And that's the trend. They're trying to wean us off expecting that any software that we don't have to rent comes with the box. And more importantly, it's stuff that you can use offline without them being able to check for your keywords and stuff. I know this because I just went through something interesting. Okay. I used to use SketchUp a lot, Google SketchUp, going down the same arc. Okay. And when Google SketchUp came out for the first 7 or so versions, it was free to use and free to you could export it at will. No weird commercial licensing in the EULA, end of user agreement. End user license agreement, sorry. But after that, you suddenly couldn't use it for commercial work. And then after that, you couldn't really use it at all without paying like a truly obscene amount of money. I mean, like $560 a year. It's not right. And even if you were going to charge a fee, you make it a one-shot fee people could afford. But you don't do these things. It just attacks and gives them the opportunity to attack smaller businesses who can't afford that sort of thing. But if you're using the older version, you can do it. So I'm trying to find the download that's reliable because I used to frequent a web page where I could acquire old version of assorted programs. And I've been informed that it may not be as safe/stable as it used to be. And I'm looking for confirmation of that from different circles. But that could also just be a bit of a false flag up to get people to stop using it. I'm not sure. I'm not going to drop any names, but I would look into that. And I've asked some of my more adept people to see if they can find what I am speaking of. And if not, I'll go on my old box and I will see if I can't find the install files. But let's see. And Chris Walker said morning thesis. And I'm going to use Linux along with PC and Windows to get used to it. That's a good idea. Linux isn't that hard as people. No, it's not. It's just I am a hardwired PC guy. Like I said, I used it before. What I found was I used a version of Ubuntu. So it was Linux Ubuntu. That I think it was Ubuntu, but it had the layout was a bit closer so that even though it wasn't perfect, the screen resizer things were where they were supposed to be, and the tabs were at the bottom. So it was a little nicely wrapped for those of us who are old Windows dorks. At least in my experience as a basic user. And you sent me 2 emails the day of the forum? Okay. I haven't been getting some of my updates because a spammer got a hold of my email, and I've been getting just stupid amounts of notifications. So it's ping, ping, ping. I will find it. I look forward to seeing that. Thank you. And Carl says, I put my like on early, hint, hint. They're probably still sending through still. That's possible, too. Not meaning to ignore greetings from everyone, but hope you all had a good weekend. Thanks for the compliment about my role with the Multiverse fundraiser. Well, you are more than welcome. And finally, our darkness is lifted as Don Goulau says good morning. And we are at 10:35. I'm not too far behind. Let me run actually, I want to run the new Aptilian ad.
Hello, I'm Dan Hollifield. I'm the senior editor and publisher of Aptilian Webzine, the world's oldest free creative writing e-zine since 1997. Since then, we have held over 500 100 amateur writers learn what they needed to turn pro. www.aphellion-webzine.com and read not only what we've got going on right now, but 28 years worth of our archives of stories. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan, for all your support and everything you do. Now, let's see. Oh, says Sarah, I hear Alec mentioned adopted child with enabling shenanigans. Yes. And there are things to be mentioned there. Where's my Dawn? Now, time to focus. What's the best version of Linux to use? If I remember correctly, there are multiple versions and names of companies who make Linux available. Like I said, the last one I played was Ubuntu, and I cannot remember the number on it because it's been quite some time. But we'll see. That wasn't clear. I adopted Alec and I enabled shenanigans. We all understood you, Sarah. Somewhere far away, Johnny's thinking, that was my idea, and he's not sure why. Yes. And I am eternally grateful to that blessed lunatic for making the suggestion. Because, one, it gives me a chance to promote your incredible talents. And two, I get the whole, oh my gosh, my book is being turned into an audiobook. Like, oh. So thank you both. And so, Hybrid's a tabletop RPG, board game, by Nick Stone. Nick Stone and Luke Tockert. Luke Stone and Nick Tockert, Captain Dyslexia Strikes Again. Jump into adventure if you are worthy. Fundmycomic.com/campaign6, Hybrid's double feature. I believe it's still active. I believe you can still get that. Reach out to Luke and get that game. It's a great game. Hey, Carl. And dang it, I missed a space. I give up on typing right now, Raffle. Ooh, Willow Skyline is a sci-fi convention in May to help plan. That's wonderful, Willow. Sci-fi cons are great. Dawn, good to see you. And we got greetings. And Chris asks, I can speak the English language. Oh, nice, Willow. What's the con name? And we got greetings. And hey, Chris, I hope you got your package. Sorry about the confusion. And some person, blessed individual that they are, take a look at Nick's books, The Simple Sword, The Simple Spear, The Fighting Axe, and its other books, Amazon.com/store/Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert. The second /author B07P26PSF3? ? Yes. Now, friends, go there, but remember, for some reason, Haints and Hellfire is not coming up, and I'm fighting that, and I'm not sure why. And oy vey, you guys are going nuts with the innuendo. Grant's slinging packages all over. Lisa says he's behaving. Grant? Can't speak for others, though. Hi, Don. Looks like you probably should have gotten your package, too. Yes, I did, Grant. Thank you. Love the cards that come with the comic. Reminder, if you want to be part of the new show intro for BKM, video yourself saying, there was no warning, or similar, PM to me or email it. It's on my to-do list. Thank you for the reminder. The first package. She got my package too. Miss Saren says, thank you for the kind words. And thank you for, deigning to give my humble writing access to your wonderful talents. It is much appreciated. And Foxy's package was included. Whose package is Nick slinging all over? Oh my God, not the green room, Sarah! Ah! Seriously, walking away from the keyboard now. Back to perfect stuff I don't love or use. Hello, everyone. Sup, Agent Zero. Been a while since I've seen you. How goes? I hope Chrome Dog is still shining, my friend. And okay, you should get your trading cards soon. Hey, at Dawn. Zero. Reach out to me. If you've got a 30-second plug for Chrome Dog, I'll put it into rotation. Everyone is slinging packages all over. Love helping, folks. Morning, Dawn. Cool, Grant. Thank you. Day Zero. And if you haven't read Chrome Dog, you should. It's a great indie title. If you missed the 90s kind of crazy independent image era, it's good stuff. Well, you want to put an end to those? Well, you want to put an end to the not own the game BS, quit using their games as platforms. They'll lose revenue and they'll have to stand up. That's what I'm doing. See, the one thing every corporation fears, there are two forces that they all fear. They fear people choosing not to work for them, and they fear people not buying their product. At the end of the day, that is our greatest power. All the arguing, all the discussing, it doesn't matter. You put your money where your mouth is, which is why I say shop small, shop local, and if you can, don't support the big guys who are being shady. Just don't. Now, Carl says, I am fast until Calvin claims one of my hands for holding him in his nap. Took me forever to type this. I respect that. Grant says, are you guys ready with your innuendos? I was not super happy with the thickness. Let me know what you guys think. Blink, blink. And Dan Hallfield shared a picture from a Facebook photo that probably is good, but I can't see. So somebody describe it if it's relevant. And, well, thickness is important. Okay, I'm okay in that apartment. I was talking about the trading cards. Oh, I hope they're not flimsy, LOL. Seriously, what made you unhappy with the thickness, Grant? The cards? Donna would have an answer to that. I didn't take them out of the package after she put them back in. A little thicker would have been nice, but they were acceptable. The trading card printer I was with was definitely trying to save money by making the cards a little thin. Absolutely. I know Watsy's cutting their cards down to where they're quite a bit thinner too. Were they thinner than the last cards? And Don says, by the way, Grant, you made me cry. How the heck does a comic book make one cry? Dang it, that was a boom to my heart. Yes, a good comic book can. A good graphic novel should be able to. It is a media. Just like a novel or a film or a video game. And anybody who says a video game can't make you cry did not play freaking FF7 during the 90s. Whoever did that, hope I don't find you. You know what you did. I'll let my wife know that you found my thickness acceptable, Chris. And thanks, Don. I've read Beowulf 600 of times. I'm sorry, read Beowulf 6 hundreds of times. And I still cry. I'm very proud of it. You should be. LOL of the cards, Grant. If it amuses her, then I will inform her with gusto. Oh, dear. The Cult of Chris or the Church of Chris may have a new member. Beam me up, Scotty. But how could he? Because Scotty doesn't know. Don't tell Scotty because Scotty doesn't know. But you know who does know? Our own Trelena Bachman, who will be at IndieCD.com for the Independent Creator Convention. Here's some of the cool stuff she makes. That's not me adding more to Hates and Heckfire. No. And guys, if you want to know how to get a book cranked out, that's how you do it. You're always working on it. Just always be working on it. If I have to carry a computer in my pocket everywhere I go, I'm going to use it like a computer. And some guys like things a little thicker. Yeah, I know. Not the green room. At least you guys know I don't have to flash the sign. I learned on an old Apple II before it became Mac. Respect. Mad respect. I don't know about that, but for D&D stuff, there's a program called Dungeon Fog. It's a map creator with assets, but it allows your own art to be plugged in. I think I remember hearing about that. And that is on the list of programs I have to acquire, because there is a wonderful, for somebody who does basic fantasy RPG, which is like if you took like old school BECMI D&D and squished it together with the better aspects of somewhere between 3.5 and 5. I'm not going to say 4 because that's the whole thing. But it is a really good system, and you can download it all free from basicfantasy.org. I'm not responsible or anything to or beholden to them. # not sponsored. But it is my favorite RPG that I didn't write. But I met a gentleman who's making essentially a D&D Beyond for that. So I'm excited with these things to offset the shenanigans that WotC is pulling. So much discussions about boxes and packages. I'm behaving. Then we had an IBM self-built monstrosity that my dad made where we could all have our own hard drives. That's glorious. Why start now, Thesis? Because it's only Monday. Exactly. Start the week off right. All right, you two, go off. Find a corner. Come back when you feel a little more calm. Woohoo! League of Cryptids, please click Notify on Launch. It helps the algorithm, however you spell it. I like to say algorithm, which I can't spell the word rhythm offhand either, but that's okay. Exactly, Foxy. At bit.ly/League of Cryptids. I'm getting stared at by Calvin. He's wanting early lunch. Trying to put him off till 10:30 at least, which tells me how far behind I am. Hi, Calvin. Calvy. And can you want knobs? No waiting for now. He's happy on my lap again now, Dawn. Windows 365. I only use a couple of the package, so that's even more reason not to get it. Ridiculous. I refuse. Used. Past tense, I should say. I understand. No behind the code tonight. Not Joe Bachman has taken over the minions in Joe's brain for the night. Oh my. I'm going to have to look it up, because whenever not Joe Bachman gets a hold of things, it gets interesting in my world. Years ago, on Black Friday, I saw 365 for crazy cheap. Sometimes I wish I could pick it up with all this BS. I'm glad I didn't. Yeah, because it's not. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Foxy says 333-353-413. I hope that number is not significant. I know roughly what 6-digit numbers randomly thrown around on the internet are. Not sure what that is. Oh no, Don. I guess we'll have to wait to just have to have Grant draws tonight. Aw, no fun in Joey's chat. Dang it. Sorry, Doggo says hi. Oh, okay. Assume that the sentence makes sense to somebody, Dawn. And my computer is a hand-me-down, so it came with Microsoft Pro. I can dig it. Hi, Doggy. Keep thinking about Lewis Gizzard mentioning haints, ghosts, and boogers. Yeah. Hi, Foxy's Doggo. She loves typing. That was a very snazzy vest. I am glad. Thank you. This middle-aged hippie approves. Respect. It really was. You and Ethan look very cute together. Simple graphic programs are great when making great pixely art with limited palettes. I like that crunchy look. Isn't that nice? And sometimes you just have to kind of, let yourself melt a bit, like turn brain to goo to recover. I haven't seen the pic. Thank you. Nick, show down the picture just when I can. I will when I see them. You'll still be able to use Notepad in future updates. You'll just have to download it separately or keep a copy. I will tell you that it is getting harder and harder to find a lot of the older Microsoft application. I'm going to say Microsoft programs, since they switched to, instead of their site being set up like it was, it's set up more like a Google Play Store format. And I do find it difficult. And show it, LOL, please. Look up independent studios. Okay. Independent studios. Okay. I will not be showing a photo of Alec because Alec is a minor. And no. Great reason to join and visit indcd.org. Yes. And Nick, the link was just one of my oil paintings. His oil paintings are incredible. Beautiful artwork. And sorry for the late reply. I was making breakfast. These things happen. LOL, as soon as you said a video game could make someone cry, I went to the exact same example, Nick. Yeah. I can't hear that music. I can't hear the Aris theme without, yeah, just put that over there. And I'm going to run another ad since I'm running late.
Welcome, friends. I'm Bladed Thesis, and this is my tea house. Come join me every other Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time as we discuss Chinese culture, history, philosophy, and of course, martial arts. You can find me at youtube.com/BLADEDTH3SIS. Pull up a chair, grab a cup of tea, or the drink of your choice, and join the discussion.
It's just a great program, and it's a great thing that I'm glad to see him do. So, yes, I am very glad to talk about that. And let's see. Jade Empire says Thesis made me cry the first time, if for no other reason than having to kill a magnificent-looking dragon. I get that. Seriously. The sci-fi convention I'm helping out with is called KeyCon. This will be our 40th year. I'm hoping to bring back some members and help bring in new people. Sadly, the memberships have been dwindling. Unfortunately, that's kind of a trend in a lot of circles right now. You got this, Willow. Rhythm. Picture a Muppets animal banging on the drums, say, "Red hot, you two-headed monster." It lets me recall it. That's not bad. If that sticks, we'll see. The memory book. If you need more memory, shake up your memory ebook product. OneNote out of 365 was very useful. Something similar is what I'm going to be looking for. That's why I live on Google Docs. Are you caught up yet? Almost. It's getting closer. That was a strange question, LOL. Should we type more? That independent studio thing was meant for looking up indie game creators. Thank you. Point taken. And a good point, Alec. You can always email me at ddulosbpa@yahoo.com if you want. And thank you. I only communicate with Alec directly through a single email. That way, if there are any accusations, I can show every single email we've ever had that they're all appropriate. I tend to be very careful. Will do, Dawn. Oh, and you're going to do well, Willow. I think that it will have more members this year. Likely. You alone are a heck of a draw, Willow. if they work. Yes. Cat Lunchtime, see folks on Grant Draws, the Grant Lanker YouTube channel, which for me, they usually don't. Well, I'm working on, as I organize my life, I'm working on organizing my mind a bit too, and organizing how I save things in my computer. It's an ongoing process, so we shall see. I remember with all the classifications of animals and all the colors of rainbows because of mnemonics. No. Yeah, my speech impediment and trying to read that word at this moment are not working, so I'm not going to try. Gonna see everyone Wednesday later. Thank you guys. I do appreciate it. I'm gonna run a few more ads. I use Jedi mind tricks to remember a lot of things. Very cool. I forget the sequence. Let me see about some more ads real quick because we are way behind. We had Jody, at least in the chat. Let's run him through and then.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. And I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
Thank you, Joe. And let's go through some more chats because we got a few more comments. And it looks like everybody's, I forgot the sequence. And yeah, I wonder about friending a minor on FB. Email is hardly used by me, but it's just a matter of safety for everyone involved because I feel like it's less squicky. And frankly, some of the stuff people share that they tag me in on Facebook is not minor or children friendly. I'm friends with a diverse group of people of different political, religious, social, and philosophical tastes, and not all that content is child friendly, so I have to be very careful. That's why my son never gets to look at my Facebook page, so I recommend caution whenever possible. Have a great day, Don Carl. A nice day. Sure. Guessing a convo with the minor would be here. I'd pay more attention to my email. It's kind of iffy, I understand. Just something to keep in mind. It's only 2 more years. Once Alec hits 18, a whole lot of really awesome things are going to happen. We'll be able to teach him how to sword fight and knife fight and all that fun stuff. We'll be archery. Basically anything Alec wants to learn in that field of things will be taught. And then they'll be able to converse with these sorts of things. That's all that's as far as that all goes. But what's not as far as all this goes is this is not the end of my broadcast week by far. Tomorrow will be Wednesday, which means after the first hour of conversation, if everybody's nice and civil, I'll be able to hop over and convert to Art Time with Nick, which will do the thumbnails for the following week. Remember, next week should be the start of Daphne and Nita doing their Monday and Friday vlogs. So I will be trying to keep my show as short as possible to keep people from overlapping there. It's been kind of fun to run amok during their break, but we have responsibilities. So, mnemonics, thank you. I miss seeing that. Thank you. But with that, guys, I'm going to I can't not run. Okay, I can't not run a couple commercials. So give me just a minute or so.
Hi, this is Kat. During the school year, I'm Mrs. Rothermel, but otherwise, I'm Rock and Roll Art Goddess, writing about my past and filming the present. I need you to join my Rock and Roll Art army and to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. What started out as journal therapy is now 4 books, I see, and an Instagram account to blow off steam, becoming a book, with another to do the same. A short film for a friend. No, this is not the end. Peace, love, and let me art.
And I hope you're arting too, whether that's literary arts or fiber arts or traditional or digital arts. Whatever brings you a great passion that you want to put out in the world, please do so. We are in desperate need of any light we can find. And as long as you're doing it, excuse me, as long as you're doing it, you can edit it, you can improve it. But you cannot edit a blank page, my dear friends. So with that, I will see you Wednesday. I love you, and you should too. Toodles.